Hello, everyone. Thank you again for joining me. Welcome back to our brain health series. I am so glad to have you guys here again. So let me just do a bit of admin here and make sure that I've got the chat button turned on. So once you jump in, do please say hello. Type on the chat where you're joining us from. I am so excited to have you here. Over the past two lectures, we have uncovered so much information on how everyday habits, nutrition, and lifestyle choices shape the health and longevity of our brain. So, today in lecture three, we're building on that whole foundation. I'm going to walk you through the next layers of strategies, practical, science backed steps you can start applying right away to protect your brain, boost your clarity, and support long term mental performance. So, with so many of us relying on devices from the moment we wake up until we fall asleep, protecting our brain has never been more urgent. And before we dive in, let me ask you once again, if you're watching this on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, please take a quick moment to like, subscribe, and follow. That way, you'll stay connected and never miss the tools, the tips, and information on how to support your health and your overall well-being. So please, it helps us reach more people who needs this information. Also, if you know anyone that really needs to learn about this, please send this to them. So before we revisit what we've just been discussing, I need to just quickly, I just realized, check on one of our Facebook pages to make sure that we are actually live on that page because I can't see. Hi, Martha. How are you? Let me know where you're jumping in from and I mean, what platform. That'll help me speed this up. Okay, let me see. Let me see. Okay. Where is our live? Awesome. Live is there. Live. Yep. Sometimes on Facebook, it actually, oops, yeah, it actually keeps me on private. So let me manage it. Oh, sorry guys. Just quick second. Quick second here. Just need to make sure that this gets to more people. Ah, how am I gonna do this? Okay. I want this to go public. It's saying I'm the only one that sees this on this one. Mm, bear with me, guys. So sorry. Let me just figure out what is going wrong. Again, a lot of stuff changes with Facebook, and I need to just make sure that we cancel. We actually, oops, give me a sec, guys. I'm hearing myself here. Um, Connie, if you're watching, I need your help here. Our personal page is on private. Don't know why. I'm not sure what's happening. Okay, I am not gonna bother anymore. We will just have to change that later. Anyway, so let us continue where we're at. Oopsie. Why is my beautiful brain not turning around? There you go. I like that brain turning around. Okay, so let's just quickly revisit where we've been in our very first session, part one. We uncovered the foundations of brain health, why it's not something automatic, but something we intentionally need to build every single day through quality sleep, daily movement, hydration, and stress management. We learned that every small choice compounds over time. Protecting our brain needs a lot of work and a lot of mindfulness, okay? Because we need to just make sure that we are accelerating in what we're doing for our brain rather than declining. Sorry, that's right, declining the amount of things that we add into our routine for our brain. In our second lecture, we zoomed in on, oops, sorry, not, there you go. In our, so sorry. In our um, second lecture, we were talking about the fuel we give the brain. We discovered omega 3, leafy greens, berries, all these actually work like amazing, powerful tools for our brains. You know, that's why you always hear superfoods, because superfoods are really important for our brain. Now, we've explored antioxidants as well in that episode, the brain's defenders against oxidative stress and aging. And we've also connected these foods that directly affect our bodies long term, even lowering the risk of dementia. So if you haven't seen part one and part two, you need to go back to those, take down notes, because I actually give you a lot of really good and juicy information for that on how and which foods you should start incorporating into your diet that will help boost your brain health. We also looked at the power of stimulation, daily brain exercises, puzzles, mindfulness. My mom loves Wordle and Word Hurdle. Those things are amazing because they actually keep your muscles in your brain working. Remember, they're like our body muscles. The more we challenge it, the more we nourish it, the stronger it becomes. The more we use it, the stronger it becomes. Okay. So, the big takeaway, every bite we take, every lifestyle habit we choose either builds our brain or erodes it. Food is medicine. Okay. So, make sure that you actually choose the right medicine to rebuild your brain instead of poisoning your brain. These are amazing foundations that will be building on what we're going to be discussing today. But before that, let me introduce myself. I am Michelle T. Jones, a naturopath, nutritionist, iridologist, and anti-aging practitioner and wellness coach. For those of you that don't know me, that haven't been following me, I have been moving around the globe every 2 to 3 years. I am also a practicing naturopath, and for the past 17 years, I've had the privilege of actually helping people regain their mental clarity, their physical vitality, and joy in their life. Because if your brain's not working, you can't think straight. It actually is quite depressing. Okay. I provide people with science backed methods, but beyond those credentials, what makes this deeply personal for me is the journey I've lived as a training spouse. Every 2 to 3 years moving, I rebuilt my practice in the different countries, starting afresh, learning new cultures, learning new languages. But you know what? Everywhere I've lived, from Asia to the Pacific, I've seen the same struggles: foggy thinking, poor concentration, restless sleep, chronic fatigue, mood swings, even digestive imbalances, all pointing back to the health of the brain. But I've also witnessed the flip side, the transformations that happen when people actually support their brain properly. Clear thinking, deeper sleep, renewed energy, resilience against burnout and anxiety. If this is you, if this is what you need, know that even improvements in long term conditions like autoimmune flare ups actually get affected when you do the right thing with your brain. So, know anyone that have those problems or want to have those results, share this video to them. Okay. All right. So, why am I so passionate about this? Brain health is not just about sharper memory. It's about the quality of your emotions, relationships, our work, our ability to live fully. If we can't think straight, we can't remember things, we get depressed, our emotions get affected, our relationships get affected. Okay, so this series is my way of giving you the tools to strengthen your brain no matter where you're starting from. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Martha. Good morning, Connie. Awesome on YouTube. Thank you. So I know that's working. Seems FB a bit late, but you're on. Awesome. That's what I want to hear. Thank you. And oh, well, that's my AI working there. So join us again, guys. Jump in, type your messages as you jump in. Okay, and let us know what you think about what you're hearing. So you know what? We can't see them, we can't feel them, but our brains do 24/7. These are invisible hazards. I'm talking about electromagnetic fields or EMFs. These come from Wi Fi routers, phones, laptop, smart devices, even household appliances, your light, your switches. They're around us 24/7. And while we don't notice them, our nervous system does. Studies are increasingly showing that long term EMF exposure can disrupt sleep, drain energy, increase anxiety, and interfere with your body's natural ability to heal. So, think about how many hours a day your phone is within reach or inches away from your body. Mine's just here charging. I've got my notebook, I've got my iPad here. Modern life has hardwired us into a constant bath of invisible energy waves, and while eliminating them completely isn't realistic, awareness is the first step. This isn't about fear, it's about empowerment, okay? Once we know, we can take steps like perhaps turning off your devices at night, creating a tech free zone in your house, or using tools designed to harmonize and neutralize EMFs. Small adjustments protect not only your brain, but your family as well. The truth is, invisible hazards are part of our world now, and we don't want to actually stop them from creating new tech. But with the right strategies, we can live safely, protect our brain, protect our body, and continue building resilience. Let me share some studies with you. Again, it's all about science backed studies. All right. I love this study here. Get the title, take a screenshot. I actually got the second part of the conclusion because I love the second part here. But what is this study about? Okay. In this study, what they did was they studied 47 healthy volunteers, okay, had one side of their head exposed to mobile phone level RF radiation of 837.5 megahertz for 50 minutes, while the other side was not. Afterwards, they used a PET scan, okay, and they measured glucose metabolism in the brain regions. And what they found was that the region of the brain closest to the phone on the exposed side showed a significant increase in glucose metabolism, which means it increased energy use compared with the non exposed side. So, this suggests that RF EMF exposure can stimulate brain activity at least acutely, altering metabolic demand. And when metabolic demand is altered, this means your brain is being forced to work harder than normal, even when you're not thinking or doing anything extra. In simple terms, it's like your brain is burning extra fuel just to cope with exposure. Fuel that should be going towards focus, memory, repair. Okay. So when you're studying, when you're working, and you're constantly in front of your computers, you are actually using up so much energy that when you finish, you're exhausted, you're drained out, and you're done, right? So if you want to have more energy, limit your exposure to all these devices. Have a break, get up, go out, have some fresh air. We talked about that in part one. Have good food, energize yourself, give yourself a break from the stimulation that's happening in your brain. Okay, because there's another one that's even more important to look at. So this is the next study. Long-term RF EMF exposure causes myelin sheath damage and behaviors. Okay, so that's what this whole thing is. Take a photo again. Take a photo of this one. Check out the results. In this study, what they did was they used mouse. It's an animal study. In the researchers exposed mice in this study to 835 megahertz RF EMF over 12 weeks. They then examined brain tissue, especially in the cerebral cortex, under the microscope, and tested behavioral changes, activity, movement. What they found significant is that there was a lot of structural damage to the myelin sheaths. The myelin sheaths are the insulating layers around your neurons, okay? So they found that the damage done on the myelin sheaths were like frayed lamella, protrusions, degeneration. Okay, mice also showed hyperactivity like behavior, more moving distance and duration in behavior tests versus controls. Activation of autophagy pathways and accumulation of proteins related to neuronal damage suggests stress on neuron maintenance systems. Okay, so let me clarify that. Autophagy doesn't just mean simple cell death, it's the body's way of cleaning out damage. Okay, but when this process is triggered too often, it can actually mean the brain is struggling to keep up, constantly breaking down and recycling instead of building new healthy cells. This means your neurons are under pressure and your brain may not repair itself as efficiently. And when there is stress on the neuron and on the neuron maintenance system, it means that the brain's repair crew is overwhelmed. Imagine your brain cells are like roads. If maintenance can't keep up, cracks and potholes start to form. And over time, the whole system weakens. That's why long term exposure is such a concern. It doesn't just affect the way we feel today, it may also slowly wear down the very structure that keep your brain sharp for the future. Okay, so this is really amazing research. Again, take a screenshot of this and read it more thoroughly. There was actually a diagram in one of the studies, and I love this diagram because actually just shows how in both those studies they proved we do not see EMF radio waves. They are around us, and the simple use of our gadgets that help us in our day-to-day life does put a toll on our body and our brain. It actually shows that, though technology is great, we still need to do what's good for us. We need to take steps to prevent our health to be impacted by technology built to help us, right? Technology is there to actually make things speedier for us, get us um, in touch with our loved ones. I remember the time when there was no cell phones and I was stuck in away from home, with no way to get a bus to come home. I was able to hitch a ride, but we were stuck in traffic because there was this major accident and I couldn't tell my mom about it. And I love how now parents don't have to worry about their kids because they can easily call and find out what's going on, where they are they okay, right? So technology is great, but we need to be very careful because as you can see in this diagram, it shows that heat, change of ion channels, demyelation and autophagy happens when we are exposed to all these EMF radio waves. So, despite all that worries, remember there's something that we can do. Did you know that there's a device that you can put in your home, in your car, in your office that can help balance these EMF radio waves in your home? Let me show you. Okay. This device here is called the M-Guard. M-Guard, think of it as an environmental harmonizer, something that doesn't necessarily block all electromagnetic fields, but it works to suppress and disrupt noise frequencies in the 3 megahertz to 1000 megahertz range. Remember, the studies were on 800 plus megahertz, right? So it's claimed to cover radius of about 8 meters circumference. Is that what it's called? And it creates a buffer in your zone around your immediate space. mGuard uses layered harmonic frequencies, multiples like 36 megahertz, 72 megahertz, 108 megahertz, and so on. It's designed to neutralize interference interf uh, in interferences of EMF radio waves. Okay, so the waves come, mGuard goes through and breaks those waves so that it actually doesn't affect your body. So it disrupts it. Important, more importantly, it's made to not interfere with your Wi-Fi, your phone signals, so you can keep on using your devices. It's just going to disrupt how it affects you and how it hits your body. The scientific literature is still catching up on independent human trials. But what I see here is now we actually have a tool that we can use to prevent any damage on our system and on our body. It's like for me, for my family, it's our defense. mGuard isn't about fear, it's about peace of mind. That's what it allows me to have. It keeps me knowing that I can safely use my technology as I need them. Because with the mGuard, I'm creating a safer place and a safer, balanced space for myself, my family, my dog, my pets. When I'm back in Canberra, it's with my chooks. So it allows me to actually know that despite me having all my gadgets, all my devices, having an mGuard in the different parts of my home actually helps me protect my whole family. It allows me to flip the narrative. Instead of technology harming me, I use technology in a way that supports and protects me. Of course, it's becomes more powerful if we actually combine it with other habits. There's no one solution that will, get rid of everything that we're worrying about. The problem with EMF is actually quite huge, but knowing that there is a solution, that a simple device like this can actually give you put you ahead, right? Give you a chance to have some sort of balance in the areas that you can control is actually a big thing. Okay, then you can add to that, turning off devices at night, keeping a bit of distance when possible from big wired areas, and reducing unnecessary exposure overall. If you try to do that in your place of work, in your car, in when you go to parties, then you raise your chances of actually having a more powerful system that can provide for everything that you need: health, energy, well being, happiness, balanced emotions, all that. Because all that is what your brain actually controls, right? If you try it, if you try the mGuard, place it well, place it in a raised area. So I've got my mGuard. You're not going to be able to see it. It's on that side. I might, when I turn off what I'm sharing here, I'm going to be able to share that with you. mGuard's just standing over there. So it actually protects a wide area. It's on a higher level. You also want to avoid mirrors when you're setting it up. But anyway, when you do want to get your mGuard sorted, there are guidelines that you need to follow, like anything else. Over time, your mGuard can give you calm, can give you a stress-free and electromagnetic stress-free environment, right? Because now your environment is being balanced. It'll help support clear thinking, better sleep, more resilience in your daily brain health toolkit. So I put a what you call it? I've put a QR code there. click the QR code, learn more about the MGuard, learn more about how it can protect your home, what the tests are that have been done to ensure that MGuard actually does get rid of EMF radio waves. I'm not going to cover that here. I just wanted to provide you with an extra bonus tool that you can actually add in your toolkit that will help build a better, stronger brain for you so that you can have a more balanced life, a more emotionally stress free life. Okay. So, again, to learn more about MGuard, just click that QR code. So, that closes part three. Let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Throughout the series, part one, part two, part three, we've explored how lifestyle habits, nutrition, and daily choices shape our brain health. Not just for sharper memory today, but for resilience and independence as we age. A healthy brain isn't just about sharper memory, it's about living with independence, energy, and joy, right? And ultimately, that's the real goal, isn't it? Not just to live longer, but to live better, to live with clarity, to live with purpose, with joy, with your memory intact, to live without those fuzzy feelings, to live and be able to sleep well. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed part one, part two, and part three. Until next time, I encourage you to stay connected. Simply scan again this other QR code to access resources, free tools, and updates to continue your health journey. Remember, your brain is your most valuable asset. So let's keep protecting it, powering it, and thriving together. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow my social media platforms. And let me just check. I have a message here, Veli. I remember checking my daughter's book. They do learn about electromagnetic wave patterns. Oh, that's great. No one really pays attention whether it is safe or not. That is so true. And that's amazing. I love how they now teach that stuff in school because our children in this day and age do get affected by EMF more than our grandparents were, right? And even more than we were. I mean, I remember the time when we didn't have computers at home, we had a typewriter, right? So we didn't have a cell phone. We didn't have, oh my goodness, there's so many things that we didn't have back home that's, everywhere right now. And that's okay. All these advances are amazing, but let's protect ourselves from it. Okay? All right. So thank you everyone for joining me. Let me just make sure. Okay, okay. Awesome. Thank you for joining me. Let me stop this and let me see if I can. I've got my guides there, so I might not do that. Okay, I didn't get to turn off my, oops, there. That's all the stuff that I need to do today, none of which I want the whole world to see. But I'll share with you the M Guard in the next episode. Or actually, click the MGuard QR code that I shared with you so you can see how big the MGuard is and how it's used. Okay? Have a great day, everyone. And again, thank you for joining me. And do share this video to those who will need them the most. Okay? All right. Bye, guys.